Everyone, my name is Jess, and today I cannot believe it, but I get to interview another mom just like me who brought their little baby to Dell Technologies World 2022. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. It would remind you that every single Monday I do post new content and you would help me out a lot. All right, so let's just dive right into the conversation today with Ashley. She is someone that I met online. I saw a photo of her with her son at Dell World and I could not believe it. I just had to have a conversation with her today. So this is it.
All right. So I am here with Ashley Brotherton, who also works at Dell Technologies as a senior analyst in the marketing events department, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Ashley. And the whole reason why we're having this conversation today is I was on LinkedIn and I saw a photo of you and your son, and I could not believe that you as well decided to bring your child to Dell World. So here we are. Welcome. And
Thank you.
I guess what was the overall process of, hey, we have this event that we need to go to? What was your thought process on, why did you decide to bring him?
Yeah, so for me, I'm on the experiential events team. So I actually was part of planning Dell Tech World. I was in charge of, with a few people on my team, the booth at the show, which was a 47,000 square foot booth within the expo.
Wow.
So I'm used to doing events, and this is my first one since I've had a baby, just because of the pandemic. It's the first time I have traveled. So it was great to get back, but yeah, it was a little more logistics involved, but definitely worth it. So my son just turned 1 in April. He's still nursing, so I knew that he needed to come with me, and I also wasn't mentally ready to leave and go across the country without him. So
and where are you located? Are you in Austin or?
I'm in Massachusetts.
Okay, so yeah, it's a far trip.
Yep. Big time difference and everything. So
totally. So great work. First off, I attended Dell World this year and it was such a good event. So thanks you for all your planning. I've never been to Dell World before, and that was the first event also post the pandemic. So well done. I'm curious if you had the same anxieties of asking your leader. Like I had some intense anxiety about asking to bring my son. How was that with asking, or did you even ask? Maybe you just.
I really didn't even ask, honestly. I mean, I started at Dell last August, and I was fresh off of maternity leave because we were, the pandemic was still happening, and in the midst of things, where I really had anxiety when I started at Dell was that I could not find daycare for my baby. And this was my dream job. I've been trying to get a job at Dell for a really long time. It's like been, a goal of mine for a long time. And I finally had this opportunity, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, now I have a baby, and what am I going to do with him during the day? And from day one, my boss and my team was very just totally supportive and understanding. And if I had a baby on a Zoom call, then I had a baby on a Zoom call. And
totally.
I didn't get him into daycare. He was on a waiting list for so long. I didn't get him into daycare until this past March, which was good because things were really ramping up for us for planning. And I was on calls, all day long, every day. And when my baby was turning into a toddler and getting mobile, it was getting increasingly harder to work. So
totally.
Yeah, now he's in daycare now, but yeah, my team has been really, really supportive about him and being really flexible with my schedule and everything. So it was totally not a pain point for me. And I realized that I'm very fortunate to say that.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it was more, I really didn't, I can't say that I even asked my boss. I just said, hey, just so you know, Trevor's coming with me. My mother-in-law is going to come out to Vegas and
Yep.
be with him
That's
during the
so,
day. And it's
I think that's how
totally,
you need to do it though. And I think some of the legacy workers at Dell, we get so nervous because I think even pre-pandemic, I don't know if the industry was ready for people to bring their kids, or in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a big deal. And when I asked, because I was so nervous to ask, and I've been at Dell almost 7 years, I just was like, oh, how am I going to do this? I am still nursing, but I'm slowly weaning. Is that my excuse, or can I just bring him? What can I do? And so I talked about it really openly with my leader, and I just said, hey, it's not going to be a distraction. I felt like I almost needed to oversell it
blame
versus just
yourself.
say,
Yeah.
like, I'm going to bring him. He's not going to be a distraction. I had to, and it's not even like she wanted me to say all that stuff. I just felt in my head,
Yeah.
oh, I need to say, it's not going to be a distraction. Don't worry. And it ended up being, she was so supportive. She said, absolutely. Even if you're not nursing, go ahead. Just, there was no question that she asked me. She didn't even
Yeah.
say, hey, stay focused. It was just, of course you can.
Right.
So I think in my head, I got worked up for no reason, like
Yeah.
at
And I
all.
mean, like I will say again, I mean, the support that I've had, like since I started at Dell, like I have never seen anywhere else before. And you know, they don't just like talk the talk, they really do walk the walk, and
Yeah.
they really are supportive of working moms, and just you know, being flexible and having the
As long
ability
as you get the
obviously
job
now to
done.
like be fully remote. I mean, it's
Yep.
just like if you get your work done, then that's really all that matters at the end of the day, right? And
Absolutely.
I have never felt like more supported and more um you know, just able to
That makes me
like
so
have a
happy to
work-life
hear.
balance.
It makes me really, and I mean, we've never spoken before. This is our first time talking about this topic, and I love to hear that it's not country specific. It's wherever you are located. That Dell is super supportive of working moms and just getting the job done. And so logistics of getting there, because I guess you had to plan, do some of the planning and create a booth and an experience for our customers and partners. How was it getting to Dell World, and how did you make that work? And any tips for other people that want to do the same?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't my first time traveling with him, so I think that that was helpful, that I had flown with him before and kind of was like comfortable with that already. It
Yep.
was my mother-in-law's first time ever flying with a baby. I mean, she has 6 sons and
Oh,
definitely was not traveling with them when they were young. So
totally.
I think it was more like shocking to her, being in the airport and being on the plane, like, oh my gosh, like how do you juggle all this? But
Yeah,
um,
totally.
for me, I mean, it's probably like the first time that I brought him somewhere, you know, you totally overpack. Like you're just like, oh, what if I need this? What if I need this? What if I
Yep.
need that?
Yep.
And then once you like start to, it's like, okay, I don't need all of these things. I don't need to bring a ton of toys. I knew that I could call ahead and get a crib at the hotel, and I didn't
Yep.
need to travel with that. Um,
Were you
so
staying at the Venetian hotel?
yep, I was at the Venetian.
I got a crib
Um,
as well, and they like hooked me up with a care
Yeah, wasn't
package.
that
Did you
so
get that
cool?
too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the little like there was like a little baby a welcome
Wipes
pack. It
and
had little,
yeah.
yeah, wipes and
That is the first hotel
body
I've
wash.
stayed at
That
with
was
my son where they give me like a welcome pack.
that was
I was
really
like, this
cool
is
because
yeah.
I've been to a lot of hotels with him and nobody's ever done that.
Yeah.
And
I'm like, is
and
this
I will say
sponsored by
too,
Dell? But
I will
no.
say too, you know, after check-in, like the crib was there. Like
Yeah.
before I even got my own luggage into the room, they were there at the crib. So that was
Oh,
really
that's
awesome.
good. I had the
Yeah.
same experience. I was in the Venetian Tower, and they even helped me set up in the corner of the hotel room like a curtain, because I didn't have one of those pods to like block out the noise
Yep.
and stuff. They gave me a curtain to block the crib from seeing like the rest of the room, so
Oh,
that it
that's
was like
awesome.
private. And I mean, in Vegas, you don't think that a hotel is going to be that accommodating for babies, and
Definitely.
I was blown away about how good it was. It's
Yeah.
really good.
No, totally agree. And I can say, you know, I've been traveling to Vegas for events for years, and I definitely was always the person that was like, why does that person have a baby? Like, this is Vegas. And now I'm like, that's me. Like, here I am with my baby.
I was cringing. I'm like, oh, I can't believe, because it was his first birthday at Dell World. I was like, I can't believe that I'm bringing my 1-year-old to Las Vegas, where it's like the party city for adults. But they had fun. They hit at the pool. They liked the lights, and they did a lot of walking together in the
Yep.
stroller. And yeah, it was cool. But I was so nervous to bring. Like, I would have loved to bring my baby on the expo floor, but I was like, oh, he doesn't have a pass. Maybe they're gonna ask,
Yeah, no. So
why
that's
is my
funny.
baby here?
So babies are totally not allowed on the expo floor. So this is funny. So my boss texted me one of the days and said, I'm volunteering you. I need you to come onto the show floor. They're doing these videos within the booth that we had set up about what it's like working at Dell. And she's like, I want you to do a video about being a working mom and bring Trevor and have him be in the video. So I'm like,
So
okay,
cool.
like, so what do I need to get him and my mother-in-law on the floor? And she said, just give, there's like these all access stickers that we had for the events team and people that were, you know, needed to be on the floor, like early setting up and things like that. So she's like, just give your mother-in-law one of those stickers. And like, fine. Okay.
Okay, cool.
So I called her, she brought him down, and I gave her a sticker, and we went to walk in, and security stopped us and said, like, absolutely not. I'm like, hey, like, I work for Dell, and you know, like, I have like the all access Dell badge. I'm like, no, like, I just need to bring him on the floor. They were like, absolutely not. You have to be 21 to go.
Oh, because
like,
I guess the drinks and food and
I was like, oh, I just need to go on and do this video that my boss asked me to do. And he escalated it to his boss, who escalated it to his boss, and like 3 minutes later, I have like the head of security down
walking here.
Like, what's going on? I'm like, I just need to go take this video. So yeah.
Because I would totally would have brought my baby on the floor if I knew I could walk the expo floor. But that is hilarious.
Yeah, no. So it was quite a sight. I ended up having like the head of security escort us to the booth to do the video, and then he had to leave. So
but did that give you any anxiety? Like, okay, oh my goodness, I brought my mother-in-law here, my baby, or were you like, no, I'm determined, I'm gonna make this video. Let's escalate.
I mean, I would have let it go, like, if it turned into that big of a deal. But I mean, as you know, like, so I was seeing in the Venezia Tower, which I've been to Vegas a million times, but I've never stayed at the Venetian. I really didn't like know the lay of the land when I got there. If I knew that it was on the other side of the planet, I probably would have asked for a different tower.
Or
when I checked in, he's like, oh, I'm going to put you in this tower because it's quieter. And I'm like, oh, great. Like, perfect. I have the baby. But it was about a mile from my room to the expo show floor, you know, multiple times a day. So I could go back and forth and nurse and whatever. So yeah, it was
I was with you. I'm really shocked that we didn't bump into each other, because I was doing the same thing. I was in the Venetian Tower, and I'm like, holy, it's so far from the floor. I mean, it's not far for non-working moms that don't need to go up and down. But yeah, I had a lot of blisters on my feet at the end. Just so much walking.
My feet were killing me, but I got my steps in, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, totally. So that is really cool. I'm curious, after doing the full experience, having your mother-in-law come down with you, would you bring your child again on a work trip?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if I for Dell Tech World, it's really a busy event for us. Like, I work really long days for that show, but I think it was definitely worth it. I I would have missed him so much if I didn't have him there. And even
Yeah.
though, I got to see him in the morning, I would try to have breakfast with him and my mother-in-law, at
Oh, that's nice.
6 a.m.
Yeah.
Before I had to go to work. And I usually would run up at lunch. Typically at that point be at the pool. So I'd go sit outside for 20 minutes and then head back down, and then put him to bed at night. And
Yep.
so it was definitely like limited time that I was with him, but it was,
Yep.
to me, totally worth it.
I mean, a round of applause for your mother-in-law for helping. I think that's
I know.
incredible.
Yeah. Couldn't have done it without her.
Totally. And I have the same view. I had a lot of questions of like, oh, why did you bring your son? Was it worth it? I thought you would want to relax. And I felt so much more relaxed knowing that my son was in the same hotel, that I could spend mornings with him. I did also drop by the pool to see them enjoying their pool time. I mean, it looked like a blast. I had a little bit of FOMO of like, oh, I wish I could stay longer
I
at
know.
this pool versus running down. And and the nights, it was just so, it felt like I was eating my cake, or what is it? Having your cake and eating it too.
Yeah.
I had the best of both worlds. I could do
Yeah.
my job, and then I could go like get some snuggles in and play a little bit with my
Yep.
son. And a round of applause to my husband as well. He just was incredible. It never made me feel guilty for working and wanting the snuggles. I
Yep.
really just took both sides. And
Yeah.
I mean, they had fun. They were in the pool for 4 days, and they were walking too, but it was good for our careers. I assume that we could have that experience. I also was not ready to leave for that long. If it was one day, maybe,
Right.
but 5 days, like I was there for 5 days, it was a lot. And not a lot of sleeping, a lot of working, a long
Yep.
hours, and
Yeah.
it kind of refilled me to go back to the room and see some familiar faces and like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are having a blast here, and go enjoy all the fun different foods and the weather.
Yeah.
We did not get to enjoy the weather that much in Vegas. I think the only time was on the pool deck for me.
Yep.
So I would totally do it again as well. Hoping to have that experience again. And anything else? Any last tips that you have for the viewers? Any gotchas that maybe you wouldn't do again?
I guess, all I can say to the other like working moms out there is like, hey, if you're a mom, you're already a superhero. You can do it. Like if you think you can't, you absolutely can. We totally are superheroes, and it's worth it. It's worth it to have them there. I would do it again a million times over.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree. That is awesome advice. I think as long as you set some clear boundaries with the caretaker. For me, we talked about logistics, how it would work. And then I would not take my advice and don't really even ask your leader. Just let them know that that's what's going to happen, and that's what you need to be successful at this event or in your job. And don't be nervous to talk about it. Like I think it's totally okay to talk about it with your leader at Dell. And I would like to thank you so much for hopping on here. It was a pleasure getting to know you.
Thanks for
Maybe
having
at the
me.
next event we can take a selfie with our babies, because this is
Yes.
I'm just so bummed we didn't meet, and just share like, hey, we're doing it, look at us, we're doing great. So it was a pleasure getting to know you. Can't wait to see more photos of us doing similar events. And
I'll send you a selfie of Trevor and I at the pool on one of my breaks, so you can.
I also have a selfie.
And then you can put those up too.
Totally. I'll put them at the end of this video for everyone that wants to see. I'll put those, and I'll add mine as well. And thanks everyone for watching. We will see everyone next Monday. Take care.
Thank you.